Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Jamie and Marcus here.
Episode number 15.
Excellent.
Test of Time.
Love, passion,
and hustle.
In the restaurant business.
Yes.
Or in any business, really.
Our business. We're talking about our
business, which we are in the restaurant business.
With lots of love, passion, and lots of hustle.
Way too much hustle.
Yes, way too much sometimes.
Yes.
All we do is hustle.
We are always working.
Yeah.
So
always doing something.
Always doing something.
And I guess it's a good sign of an entrepreneur.
It is.
Because we do a lot of delegating. So let's not get confused with working inefficiently.
Oh, I didn't say we work inefficiently.
Yeah, I didn't say. Yeah, I don't want people to get confused.
No. I don't think we work inefficiently. I think we definitely delegate enough, but we also hustle a lot, and everything we do is kind of circled around our main business, right?
Exactly.
So kind of gears off like a family tree. So it's like a tree with roots growing in the bottom and then leaves growing on the branches.
So let's talk today about hospitality
and customer service
versus customer service.
Yeah.
Or lack of customer service.
Yes.
All right. So and I know you are too, really upset when we go to a place that you have to pre-order on an app, on a screen, on an iPad, and
then they ask for a tip.
Right off the bat, before you even have interaction with people, they're asking you for a tip.
I actually think that we should start leaving 0 tip and then tipping either with cash or asking if we can run our credit card again for a tip of some nature when we are put into that situation. Because I find it very disappointing that you're at a kiosk, you're ordering, and then it says, would you like to add a tip?
Right.
And
I don't know if I want to.
I don't know. Right. I don't know if we've gotten good.
Or let's put it this way. I want to. I don't know how much.
Right.
Tip to add yet.
We're good tippers. I mean, I think we always tip 20% for the most part, unless we get really bad service.
Right. 20% or minimum or more.
Yes. So I just going up to a kiosk and then, well, this happened to us just recently, a couple of times when we were traveling, right?
Airports.
And in airports and, in big cities now, some of the restaurants are moving towards, ordering off of a kiosk, and then you walk up to the counter, you get your food and you sit down. And so you don't really know the experience because you're traveling, right? You don't really know like what to expect from the restaurant. You don't really know, like you think you're ordering, then you go sit at a bar and they're going to deliver the food and they're going to make sure you're taken care of. They're going to make sure you get silverware, but you don't really know that experience going in. We went to a place just recently, right? When we were traveling, where we walked in, we went to the kiosk, we sat down, and then they text you when your order was ready and you had to go up to the counter and pick up your order, and then you sat back down. The only thing the staff came around to do was ask if you wanted drinks.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the only thing.
So the problem here,
and you had to clean up your own garbage and put it in the garbage. And I mean,
and you're still tipping.
You're still
tipping.
Right.
So the problem I have here is this whole system of technology is training staff to not show hospitality
and not to give good service.
Not to good service. It's not happening, and it's a shame. Now let's talk about the difference between my definition, your definition, however you want to say it, of customer service versus hospitality.
Or service, right? Customer service, or hospitality.
Right. So when I worked at the Greenbrier, you worked at the Greenbrier too. Mm-hmm. Beautiful property in West Virginia. Do you remember what the paycheck said, or their tagline? What they used?
No, I didn't work there as long as you did.
Ladies and gentlemen, serving ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I don't ever remember seeing that.
Always made sense, right? Polite people serving polite people. It's sort of how I kind of sum that up, right? And it was so true because the people there, the culture of that place was very
Southern hospitality is what you would call it, right? Southern hospitality.
Just the whole welcome wagon, you're there and they're happy you're there. Just like when we go to Italy, to the vineyards and to restaurants that we go to, it's amazing to hospitality. And and then all of a sudden now you're putting to places where they're just taking orders. Mm-hmm. They're following up with you, but they don't care about service.
They
They
don't care about service. They certainly aren't giving you hospitality,
Right.
right? It starts with service and then it goes to hospitality, right? So there is a distinct difference between service and hospitality, right? And they don't care about giving you the service. They're just there to make the money. I mean, we had a girl in an airport just recently too, who like, it was terrible service.
We complained.
And we complained.
We complained because we tipped ahead of time, and nobody's coming to we call it quality check at our restaurant. Go check and make sure everything's okay.
Mhm.
Make sure that the steak is cooked properly, or the fish isn't dried out, or that people are enjoying their meal, or check and see if they want another glass of wine. Do something except just stand there and just not. And oh my gosh.
Remember, we also at a restaurant, a bar that we went to in an airport a few months ago, you know, the lady served us. She was terrible, right? I mean, terrible. And we didn't really leave a good tip. And then we asked for water after we
Oh
were
my
done
gosh.
tipping. She saw it and she was nasty. She
Yep.
was not nice.
She's not.
I mean, they didn't smile at all. I mean, they did not smile at all. She had no idea what she was doing. It was like she gave us dirty glasses. I mean, it was just incredible. But you know what? We talked about it back then. That comes down from the manager.
Which is what I want to get to.
Right.
But here's another example. Like, we ordered a bottle of wine, an $80 bottle of wine, which we're already tipping 20% on. They're forcing us to tip ahead of time. $80 bottle. She brings the bottle to the table, and there's already a glass missing out of it. I'm like, if you can't notice
and
that there's a glass,
like, there's already a glass out of that. She goes, no, there's not. And I said, there is. Look at it.
Look at it.
And she goes, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But you know what? That should be something that that's part of your service. That's part of knowing what you're doing. I mean, I watched the girl behind the bar make 3 drinks and pour them out. Like, she had no idea what she was doing.
And that was part of her training.
That was part of her
They
training.
said, oh, she's new, she's training.
And
so she's making drinks where she doesn't have a proper recipe. She hasn't gone through the training.
She was using a recipe.
Was she?
Oh yeah, she had a book open.
Then why is she throwing them out?
Because they didn't come out right. She tasted it and it didn't come out right. I was appalled.
So we spoke to somebody at this restaurant and they're like, she's throwing drinks out? Like, yeah. Like, is it like...
And nobody was back there watching her.
No.
Nobody was back there watching
her. Three
her.
drinks just...
thrown away.
So here's, now get to your part about where this stems from.
It stems from management.
Management.
I mean, it stems from up above. It stems from who owns the restaurant or the bar or the facility, down to the bussers and servers. Excuse me.
It all comes from the top.
It all starts at the top.
I guarantee you that all these restaurants that we talk about, that we have bad experience.
They throw people in, and they're not giving them the customer service, the training, the hospitality. They just don't care. They're there to make money. And here's the thing: what I get when we're traveling a lot in big cities, because we're usually in big cities, you know, it's transient. Like an airport, right? That people are coming and going, and you're never going to see these people again. So it doesn't really matter.
But there's a lot of great restaurants we go to in these big cities that have an amazing team, and that they're loyal. And it's just so, it's the culture. It's the culture these places have built.
Yeah.
And it's the way they treat their team. And so, there was something I was going to say. Oh, just so. Somebody recently told me, they go, Marcus, you know, there's a person you have on staff, and we were talking about a specific person, and semi-recently, and they said that person's hurting your business. And that hurt.
It sure did.
It hurt because you know why? You know why that hurt?
Because we know.
Because we know.
And
we haven't done anything about it.
Well, we keep thinking that it's going to get better.
We thought it was going to get better.
We sit down with
this
them.
Individual.
We talk to them. We tell them, all the things that we would do with all of our other staff. And it's just not changing.
But when a guest said that to me,
yeah. But a friend,
but if they notice
guests, right? If they notice and other people,
then if they notice, all the other people are noticing.
Yeah.
So now we've done our part with working and trying to positive feedback and this. Now it's really our faulting because it stems from the top. And I guess the point here is to anybody, a restaurant owner, a manager, an entrepreneur,
it's just
listening to this is
not right for our business.
You are responsible. You are ultimately responsible for what's happening. If your team is not up to where it needs to be, that's your fault for lack of training. Some people like to hire rock stars,
Mhm.
where they hire these rock stars, they come into work, and the rock star is supposed to take care of everything. And they're paying more money in labor because you're taking a rock star who's already making money and bringing them in. That's the shortcut version of how to do it. The proper version is to notice talent within an organization and say, okay, you're washing dishes, you're a prep cook, you're doing this. I think you have more talent. I think we need to move you up, but I have to invest the time as the owner, the manager, the operator to train that person. So here's the difference between having a cook that's making $25 an hour, hiring the rock star, or moving somebody up and paying them 15 to 17 an hour because you're working with them and moving them up, and you're investing time into them, and you have a system. You're going to save a lot of money if you have a system. But a lot of people don't have the system. So here's what they do. They hire the rock star, and the culture's not good because a rock star comes in, is making more money than other people. There's animosity, and all of a sudden, everybody wants to leave. And the person that's being brought up isn't being trained properly and is getting frustrated. I can't believe that I'm doing the same job as this other person, and not realizing what their job even is to begin with, not realizing what the quality is supposed to be to begin with. And now all of a sudden they get frustrated because they're like, well, I just get in trouble, and I don't do things right, and I had no training here, and this and this and this. And now all of a sudden they're looking for another job. And then all of a sudden you have the restaurant owner who's saying, I can't keep staff. I can't keep labor down. I can't do this anymore. The staff is killing me. I need to close, or I have to do something. And I hear this all the time.
So let's talk about hospitality. Let's talk about the difference between hospitality and service or customer service. What is your definition of customer service, and what is your definition of hospitality?
Customer service is something that anybody can do. Anybody can take an order. Anybody can serve food. Anybody can serve the customer. Hospitality is serving the customer with a smile and caring.
It's a step up,
and
right?
It's like organic versus biodynamic. Organic's great, but biodynamic's organic with a lot of love.
Right.
And I think the hospitality, when you have good hospitality, that's good customer service with a lot more love. It's more than caring about the current situation. It's about, back in the day, if this dates the restaurant industry, like people would ask us for a newspaper. Do you have today's newspaper? Now it's all on their phone, right? But 2003, 2004, 2005, do you have a newspaper? Hospitality is sending somebody to the store
And getting it
to get all the newspapers and bringing back 4 newspapers instead of 1 newspaper. That's hospitality.
Services. I'm sorry, we don't have.
Sorry, we don't have it.
Right.
We don't have it.
Right.
Or here's yesterday's paper. Well, what good is yesterday's paper? I had yesterday's, right? So hospitality is that way level above.
It's above and beyond.
Above
and beyond the smiling, the caring, the, giving them your all, giving them the wow factor, giving them more than you would in service.
So, and again, this all stems from management. Now, I find when I'm in a bad mood, my team doesn't perform that well.
Mm-hmm.
If something's wrong with me personally, my personal life, or you and I, something, or we have other distractions, something's wrong, we're not here, we find that things change because we're not here to set the example. Mm-hmm. We're not here to lead the charge, direct the ship, set sail on the ship. And then all of a sudden let's face it, not everybody has that hospitality gene.
They don't, right?
No, they can all walk a dish out. They can all take an order, but they don't have the hospitality gene that has to keep being reinforced with your team. Absolutely. I like that. Hospitality gene reinforced with your team.
Yeah.
Has a little rhyme to it.
Yes, it's nice.
So
sounds good.
So here's the deal. If we're having issues at restaurants dining out, other people are too. And chances are, and we're not perfect. We're by no means are we perfect, but I don't think we're complacent.
Absolutely not. We're always learning.
We're always wanting to provide
better,
more.
It's like when somebody walks in the door, you greet them quickly. When somebody leaves, thank you so much for your, thank you for dining with us, or, sending them a thank you card, or
thank you,
or it's just going
Talk about
above and beyond.
talk about thank you card, because that's hospitality right there.
Absolutely. So, after somebody dines with us, we're collecting data, right? You're collecting somebody's email or getting a comment card. After they've left that or they've celebrated their birthday with us and they get a birthday certificate in the mail, we write them a handwritten thank you card. Obviously, we don't have everybody's, names and addresses, but we write them, the ones that we have, we write them a thank you card like, hope you had a great birthday. Thank you so much for celebrating with us. We hope to see you soon. And we try to put something personal in there. Like, it was so nice to meet your family. Thanks for dining with us for the first time. We hope to see you back. And it's on a postcard and we send it to them. And that's hospitality. That's going above and beyond to give the rest of the experience, to give them more, to make them think about you when they're at home, sitting on their couch, opening their mail 3 days later.
That's the caring aspect.
That's the caring aspect.
That's the caring aspect.
So, it is really important that you care about your guests, and fake caring doesn't work because people can read right through that. It is the feeling that you get from the hospitality, the feeling that you get. And you can get a feeling from good service, but when somebody goes above and beyond and says to you, you know what, let me give you a taste of this wine before I actually give it to you, that's hospitality.
Right.
We don't have that by the glass, but let me go ahead and give you what I do have by the glass. And let's see if you like that. It's going above and beyond as much as we can. You know what? You don't know if you're going to like our soup. Let me bring you a little taste of the soup. Same thing with behind the bar. We don't have anything, typical in terms of, big brands. So let me give you a taste of the gin before you have it. Let me give you a taste of the vodka before you have it. I want to make sure that you have something that you enjoy instead of something that you're not going to like. And you know what? We've had drinks returned from our staff that doesn't give them a taste ahead of time.
Right. I didn't know your Chardonnay was like this.
And
I didn't know your Cabernet was like this.
Right.
I don't like, it's just, so here's the thing, back to the handwritten postcards. There's gonna be a lot of restaurateurs that are watching this and saying, we serve way too many people. There's no way I can do a handwritten postcard. There's no way.
2 a day is more than you're doing now.
If your team, each person
can
2 a
write
day,
1 a day, even
1
1 a day. We used to make our staff write 1 a day. Now I try to write to everybody that we possibly can.
Right.
So, and if our staff doesn't have time to do it, then I'll do it. My office person will do it. I make sure they go out all the time.
So here's the deal. We're paying now people to manage social media for us. We're paying people to do this high-tech stuff for us, this technology for us. You need to be paying somebody to go back to the old-fashioned way of reaching out to people. You need to combine both, right? So recently I just heard somebody say, well, what do you do for social media? Well, you do everything, because a bodybuilder doesn't just work his legs or just her arms or chest. They work everything. So you have TikTok, you have Instagram, you have LinkedIn, you have Facebook, you have TikTok, all these things. And you have to scatter things out. And part of that scattering things out with customer service or hospitality is a handwritten postcard saying goodbye to somebody. And if they walk out the door, you didn't get a chance to say goodbye to them because you missed them. You walk out your door and say goodnight.
Right.
Because they're in the
sorry
street.
I didn't get to say goodnight. Thank you so much. And I've done it many times.
Right. So if you're a big restaurant, you can send out 50 postcards a week. That's 50 or 10 or 15 more than you've been doing. And those people who get that postcard are going to say,
wow, they really care.
That restaurant was so big and huge. That restaurant was so busy. Somebody took the time. They don't know you. They didn't send it to everybody. That place took the time to send me a thank you for dining. And they mentioned my birthday. They mentioned whatever. Amazing. Just amazing.
There's so many things that you can talk about hospitality, and I'm sure there's things that we're missing. It's things like a fork dropping on the floor and you hear it and you bring another fork.
Yep, somebody rushes right over.
You rush right over. Somebody spills something, you rush right over. They're not cleaning it up themselves. I mean, that's part of hospitality.
And who cares if they don't need a fork? They drop their fork. You bring them a new one. You don't wait for them to ask. You do it automatically. It's like the thing with coffee. You don't wait for them to ask for sugar and cream.
Part of service is them automatically having silverware. That's part of service. But going above and beyond, like if they drop something and you bring them a new napkin or you bring them something, that's going above and beyond. And that's hospitality. So,
ladies and gentlemen, being served by ladies and gentlemen.
Love it.
That's it. All right, folks. So
All
your
right.
challenge is to, I guess, identify
Up your
hospitality,
hospitality.
no matter what situation you're in, casual, fast service, whatever. There's something
That you can be doing to up your hospitality
game.
from good service.
Yep. I don't care if you're a drive-through, whatever, there's something that you can be doing. We like to consult a lot. We help other people. And I was working with a tow truck driver one time, and I said, man, bake dog biscuits. Just have dog biscuits in your tow truck. And if somebody has a dog, you give them dog biscuits. That right there alone is a game changer. There's no other tow truck company, and chances are, if somebody's calling a tow truck, they're not having a good time.
They're not having a good day.
When you're going into a restaurant, you're going to have a good time. When you call a tow truck, it's because you're out, you're you're down on your luck that day when you're calling a tow truck. So
Yeah.
making somebody's dog happy. So that's just something thinking outside of the box. Just
Yep.
think outside, the box. Think outside the box.
Better hospitality.
Restaurant Growth Secrets University.com. You and I have a lot of fun stuff over there.
We do.
A lot of great stuff over there on how to run your restaurant. Go check that out. We've developed an online training platform that is bar none the best. Everybody from Tony Robbins to Grant Cardone to General Motors to a lot of big companies are using this very similar platform, the same platform that we've transformed into a great training tool. We would love to talk to you about that, because it all just comes down to team training.
Absolutely.
More team training you have, the better off you are.
Absolutely.
It's just one of those things.
Culture you're going to have.
Yep.
So,
all right.
This is Jamie and Marcus.
Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.